great arrangement for the company. And let's not forget those wonderful non-compete agreements they tried to get us to sign. It's great that they are not enforceable in the state of California. I live in Florida where they are 100% enforceable, and they love their non-competes here. I cannot tell you how many jobs I've turned down because I refuse to work for someone who misclassifies me, tries to have me sign a non-compete, or in any other way.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Excellence Cleaning Pros. My name is Francesca.
And my name is Martin.
And today we will be starting a new episode of the series we wanted to start for a long time. It's our baby in the background. We've been wanting to start these series called our nightmare cleaning stories, and because we personally been wanting to share some horrifying, terrible experiences that we have gone through in this industry. And we've been wanting to take the time to share with you guys a lot of these experiences because it is a hard industry, it is tough, and I think a lot has to do with all these misconceptions, this unfairness going on. A lot of times customers not knowing, you know, how hard and how difficult it is and how important it is professional cleaning, and they devalue it a lot, making it think that it's less important than, I don't know, construction or carpentry or many other jobs that, yes, they require maybe a lot more of a training school, but also cleaning requires a lot of skill level, attention to detail. So they all have their own little specific level of importance, right? And so we've been victims of a lot of unfairness, a lot of horrible, crazy stories that we want to share with you guys. But coincidentally, we had this one person. So I made this article and also a video on our channel that is called it's called Don't Call Me a Maid. Don't Call Me a Maid. And it's also written in our website. Well, this person somehow came across our article, and she wrote to us and shared some interesting perspective about how much she related to the article and how she pretty much wished that, you know, that she's been meaning to talk about this because she had her own set of negative experiences. So I told her, I was like, oh, it's very interesting what you're sharing. I would love you to share those stories with us because I would love to share that in our channel and spread awareness and so pretty much this could help others relate to these kinds of situations, and also why not share their experiences, spread awareness about how unfair sometimes people can be to small businesses or to employees or to cleaners, etc., etc. So with no more ado, let's just start with the story.
The beginning, when she replied to the article about don't call me a maid. Hi, I wanted so much to comment on the article that I just read, and I want to thank you so much for it. It's the article about professional cleaners and being called maids. I have wanted to write an article very similar to that, or post a YouTube video for the same reason. I've been cleaning since 1981, and the master-servant attitude is very much alive and well when it comes to the cleaning industry. See?
So true.
That's the main thing. A lot of people think they have maids when they hire cleaners. I just left a cleaning job for an organization that told me I only had 2 hours to clean a facility that should take at least 4 hours to clean, and they tried to cram as much work on me as they could, knowing that there's no way it could all get done in 2 hours. They left the facility filthy after the last person left because they were too good to do any of the cleaning in the meantime, and then dumped it on me. I've done a whole lot of janitorial cleaning in every single facility I went to, except for the one that my husband and I incorporated into a building that he was maintaining. Had a janitor's closet that was filthy and chaotic with old, disintegrating mops, brooms, and other paraphernalia, always crowding at least one corner of the already tiny closet.
That's something I always notice on like different buildings, whether it's the buildings that we do, new commercial customers we get, or just in different facilities. I notice how like they're cleaning. Like you can just tell they hire the most shadiest of cleaning companies.
Yeah, and they don't. If the commercial office or facility is supplying the stuff, like whoever they hire to clean, they don't maintain that equipment. and it just becomes old. That's what she said. Disintegrating mops.
It's disgusting how like they just kind of have one mop that is the same mop they use every single day for like God knows how long.
Months, years.
And they usually have all this bacteria added up. It's so disgusting. So disturbing. Just the thought of like people, nobody ever stops and thinks about like, how do they do the cleaning here? Like, what are they using to
use?
How are they doing the cleaning? Are they cleaning this facility with like clean, fresh, disinfected towels, or are they cleaning with old, musty, overused towels? Are they mopping these floors with, clean mops or clean microfiber towels, or are they mopping them with musty, disgusting 5-year-old mops? Like, it's nobody ever stops and thinks about those things.
Yep.
It's terrible, and the fact that it's like obviously you're probably not eating off the floor, but it still leaves odors and oh gosh. Anyways, keep going.
You don't want to think about it. Okay, continuing. The mop buckets and mops already seemed to be old, filthy, and didn't function properly. They expect you to use this junk to clean with and give you a hard time because you ask for replacements. We're treated like bottom feeders who don't know any different. So garbage is good enough for us. Honestly, it makes me sick. I won't go into the residential side of it. That's another story. There's something else that needs to be addressed and is not talked about nearly enough or at all. There are many brick and mortar companies and app companies that operate similar to Uber that set people up with cleaning customers. However, they are 100% treated as employees and misclassified as independent contractors. Independent contractors who are under supervision, told how much they will be paid, when they will be paid, how they have to do the job, how much time they have to do the job, when they will get paid, and how they will get paid. But they have to provide their own supplies, their own vehicle, pay all of their own expenses, take out their own taxes, and have no workers' comp or benefits.
So ridiculous.
Yep.
Really unfair.
There's like that big corporation, tech industry, apps trying to overtake everything. Just how they took out the taxi industry.
Yes, and,
like that.
And it affects small businesses like ours that we're trying to do things right. We're trying to do right by the customer as well as we try to do right by our cleaners. We want to make sure that we are paying them fairly, that we are covering everything that they need, even be able to provide them with benefits. But it's almost impossible to do it because they make the standards so low and they make pricing so incredibly low that it's so hard. It's so hard to be able to charge fairly so that we can treat our cleaners fairly. And the crazy part is that, well, there's so much to it, right, that we can discuss on another channel, but the crazy part is that a lot of these companies don't even charge that cheap. They just give the illusion that they're going to, but at the end of the day, they're still charging you a very high amount per hour. Yep. They'll say like, oh, we'll do the cleaning for $100, and they're just including 1 hour.
They get you on a subscription. You have to pay for 6 months in advance or something.
Yeah, or you are locked to pay for at least 6 months, and if you get out of the contract, then they'll charge you like
the full price
that they would have charged you otherwise. Like they'll charge like $300 to get a contract or some insane amount like that.
Yeah. So these apps, no, keep going. Sounds like a great arrangement for the company. And let's not forget those wonderful non-compete agreements they tried to get us to sign. It's great that they are not enforceable in the state of California. I live in Florida where they are 100% enforceable and they love their non-competes here. I cannot tell you how many jobs I've turned down because I refuse to work for someone who misclassifies me, tries to have me sign a non-compete, or in many other ways tries to take advantage of me. I'd rather live simply than be in a situation similar to an indentured servitude. As far as the article, it is absolutely spot on and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much for saying what needs to be said, and I hope it had many, many readers. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you so much, Jill, for sending us this. It was very sweet. I remember waking up to that email and I was like, it just brightened my day. It actually motivated to me. Like, I'm gonna start this series already. This is gonna be my kickstart. Yeah, my kickstart story video. And I just really appreciate that. I was like, how does she? I just really thought about it.
When did you write that article?
I believe I wrote and filmed and posted that about maybe 3 years ago or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably, like a lot of people have already read it then.
You think so? I don't even know. I don't even know how it works, but
Interesting.
usually certain keywords come up. Maybe some people might be able to read it, but
So yeah,
I
so
didn't-
why do you think like okay, so maid versus professional cleaner? What do you think? Why is it like maid is a derogatory form?
coincidentally, I actually rewatched my video not that long ago, and I was like, hey, I actually did a pretty decent job here. And usually I'm very insecure about my voiceovers. I feel like with practice and everything, I could get really, really good at it. But I saw it, I was like, this is actually really good. So it really kind of like describes exactly why it goes into the history of being a maid, what maid actually represents, means the difference between, especially nowadays, and I was also sharing with Jill how maybe I don't know, and probably I'm wrong, but I can just assume that maybe back in the day, doing cleaning was the kind of job that people just did, like maybe the bare minimum, a very light cleaning almost for the most part. I grew up in Mexico, and we had a full-time housekeeper, and I wouldn't call her a professional cleaner. Like, I don't think she knew how to clean. She just knew how to, maintain the home, just making it look tidy. She will tidy up for us, do the beds, do the laundry, do the dishes and the floors, and just pretty much make sure the house just kind of kept up on a daily basis. That's what she did. Mm-hmm. But my mom was the one to do the thorough cleaning. So every weekend, my mom, and sometimes she will help her too, but mom, for the most part, she will do like the deep cleaning of the kitchen, the deep cleaning of the bathrooms and the patio. She kept the bathrooms looking decent on a daily basis. She would just kind of do like a light touch up on the sinks and toilets, and maybe the shower. My mom would do more like a deeper scrubbing.
Like the cleaning she liked.
Like something that would just kind of like make it look better, like more thorough. And yeah, so I do believe that back in the day, because there was no such thing as, the kind of technology that we have nowadays, when there was no dishwashing and stuff, like people did depend a lot on having housekeepers. But now it's different, right? Like now with all this technology, dishwashing, vacuums, even self vacuums, people can go a whole week without really having to have somebody clean on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. However, what is more common now is to use professional cleaning to do the more thorough cleaning, because it is very exhausting to do, the thoroughness of the kitchen, the thoroughness of the bathroom, the thoroughness of, dusting blinds and baseboards and all these things that especially American households have. Like in Mexico, blinds were not common. Like we didn't have blinds. We didn't have baseboards, and doors didn't have like as much contouring as these ones. So the kind of doors that we have here, like more dust built up in the contours and in the contours and whatnot. But anyways, I do explain a little more, and I'm going to be working on other videos that explains more in detail the difference between professional cleaning and light cleaning, or the kind of cleaning that, for example, I do on my house. Like when I clean my house, I don't do ExcellenceCleaningPros cleaning on my house. Hell no. I do as Mickey Mouse and as basic and as I like. I just want my house looking clean as possible in as little time as possible. Sometimes because I just don't even want to clean at all. Like I tell myself, 5 minutes, whatever I get done. So I do want to share with you guys a lot of tips and tricks that you can do to keep up with your own home. However, that does not say that just because you clean your home every day, you don't need professional cleaning, because I still need professional cleaning. There's still the quality of service that we offer as professional cleaners, and the way we train our cleaners is literally very essential to living a quality life. Like you have no idea. Most people have no idea what it does to your life and to your home until you actually see it, experience it for yourself. All right, with no more ado, let's go ahead and hear her stories. Let's go ahead and hear her residential stories that she shared.
Well, here's one story. It's so amazing how there's some companies out there that they're cleaning companies, and like who knows how long they've been doing cleaning for, and the methods that they use to clean are just so questionable. So like it's very, very strange the way what some people think cleaning is done. Like you'll hear this story. All right, so what I'm gonna get to. All right, I'm gonna start this story. Okay, here is one of my stories. It's one of the more recent ones. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. I took a job as a vacation rental cleaner with a company that just moved to Florida from Las Vegas. We did some residential and vacation rentals on Saturday, and the only thing that she gave me to clean, with the exception of an orange furniture cleaner, was a bottle of straight white vinegar.
Wow.
I had to use it on everything. I used it on the kitchen counters, the showers and tubs, sinks, outside of the toilets, everything. That's all I had to work with. That's all I had to work with in the vacation rentals we cleaned as well. But at one point, I ran out of vinegar. I had I believe a 48-ounce bottle, and I used it upon several different places that we cleaned, and she had 2 gallons of it in the trunk of her car.
Oh my God, okay, stop. Before we keep going. How in the hell do you clean with just vinegar? Like ew.
Do you just spray and
Okay,
wipe or what?
Did I understand correctly? This was a small business, right? And was the owner of the business saying that they could only clean with vinegar, or was the rental home saying they could only clean with vinegar?
Well, it was just a company, she said. So I don't know if it was a small business, could have been a small business, or they moved to Florida, right? And
so this was a new company moved to Florida.
Yeah, well,
she started working with
them. It was an old company from Las Vegas to Florida.
And how did she start working with them?
She just took a job.
Okay.
Was looking for a job and found them.
How do you clean with just vinegar? First of all, ew. Like, vinegar smells really bad. And
a lot of people like to clean with vinegar. I don't know. I guess because it's acidic. I
don't feel like it cleans good enough. Like it smells really bad.
Vinegar and baking soda.
It doesn't disinfect good enough. You need soap. You need soap to be able to remove like residue, stickiness, sticky dust, all that stuff. But yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I know like the vinegar and baking soda thing, but I mean that's for like certain tough things, right?
Things, and they work together. Like the baking soda does a lot of the work. But yeah,
very interesting method there, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked her if I could go and refill my bottle, and she wouldn't let me. She literally would not let me refill, and I had nothing to clean with. I had to make do with what was ever available to me, and the last place we went to, into which was a small condo on the beach, the only thing I had to clean with, and I mean the only thing, was half a full bottle of watered down glass cleaner. I had to clean the shower, the tub, the toilet, sink, everything, because that's all I had to work with, and she would not let me refill my vinegar bottle.
Oh my God.
Needless to say, I never cleaned for them again. She also lied to me and told me that the cleaners get all of the tips. The first condo we went to, there was a $20 tip, and she gave it to me when we went to the second condo. I walked in first, and I saw a $20 bill on the table for a tip. I didn't touch it because it wasn't my job, and it was up to her to give me the tip. I wasn't going to take it. So I did some work, came back out toward the kitchen, and the $20 bill was gone. She kept it. So she lied about that as well. She said that the cleaners keep all of the tips, and that was a lie. Again, all it took me was one time, and if I had a vehicle, it wouldn't have been that long. I would have left, but unfortunately, I was driving with her.
Oh, wow.
And I had no choice but to finish that day. I also made the mistake of cleaning with somebody who was a major micromanager and smoked in her vehicle.
Ew.
And kept the windows open. But it was in 90-degree weather, so I was hot, and I could still smell the cigarette smoke. And she got us
disgusting.
And she got us a late start in cleaning, and we had 3 homes to clean. Again, I wound up riding with her. And all she did were the kitchens, and she didn't even do the floors. I wound up doing everything else. And needless to say again, I never cleaned for her again.
Disgusting. Oh my God, I am so sorry.
I'm beginning to think some of these business owners have psychopathic traits. I'm not kidding. Yes. I've just seen some of the most toxic behavior from owners of cleaning companies. I have more stories and we'll add to them in the future. Jill.
Oh my
God.
That's
what I'm saying. Like, there's some companies that, do things that are just like, dude, how are you treating your workers like that? How are you not making sure?
What is wrong with these people? Like,
yeah, like I remember, like
how can any worker last after? I mean, they most likely feel comfortable that most people put up with that. That's what it means. Whoa. So I think that if these people feel confident enough to treat their cleaners like that, it's because most of them take it, and I just feel so bad that some of these people are nice enough to put up with this kind of treatment. Like who hires a I mean, I wonder if that was, she didn't specify that was the owner or just one of the managers, supervisors, but who hires somebody like that, right? Like, if, I'm pretty sure more than one person had quit. Nobody treats somebody like that. Also, why were they so cheap on cleaning products? Cleaning products are not so expensive. And I guarantee you, if they were that cheap on the cleaning products, I bet you they probably had like a very fixed limited amount to clean those vacation rentals. Because every time I got into a vacation rental, like you can see that they are clean in extreme hurry. Like there are so many areas that they start building up, and you can start to see like the grime building
Remember,
up.
we got hired for like an Airbnb cleaning one time, and like we told them like, dude, like we can't do it for this. How much you want to pay? Like we need a little bit. We need more time.
Yeah,
she wants to do all this
She
stuff.
wanted to do like laundry, beds. There were so many beds, dishes, like all these things that she wanted to provide. And she really assumed, and I understand, if I was to be renting a home, or even if I was to rent an Airbnb, like paying like above $100 for cleaning would feel a little excessive, because it's like, oh my gosh, shouldn't that be included with the service and stuff? But the thing is that if you're cleaning, it's like when you're cleaning a home, whether you clean every day or every week or every 2 weeks, it takes almost the same amount of time to just do all the floors, to wipe the all counters. It takes almost the amount of time. Obviously, the more recurring you do it, it's going to be a little bit less time every time. But also, if you have laundry, if you have dish, that is like completely doubles the time. So they just think that you can do so much in an hour. Like an hour goes really, really fast. And you can probably, the more ground you cover. But if you're gonna do it fast, you're not gonna do a lot of detailing. It's gonna be a lot of hit and missing, and that is just not the kind of service that I want to do as a professional cleaning. It's just, you can't just call yourself like, oh, we do quality service, when you also have an insane amount of time to finish it. And it's like, then that is not really professional cleaning. Then you have to. It's just kind of really hard to train people like, oh, you gotta learn to clean all this in under an hour. Like, you're pretty much teaching them to cheat. Teaching them to be dishonest about how clean the area really is. Like, that's a service that I personally don't like to offer. I'd rather not take the job than to just kind of pretend like I understand the customer. Be like, oh, so you want this house to be clean in under 2 hours? I gotcha, you know? Yeah. So it's just kind of like, I don't even know how she got it.
Like, first you have to know how to do everything perfect and clean very well, and know what are the important areas that you cannot miss. So when it does, when a day does come up that you're short on time, you need to hurry, you need to finish this job quick to get to the next one, or whatever.
You know where to cut corners.
To
why it's not super important, and what is.
And on the next one, you can get it on the next one.
However, just because you know what corners to cut, that is like, okay, like that part of the blind or those base versus a quick touch up is fine, or maybe they're not even necessary to touch because I did them last time. Even if you just do as little as possible and as fast as possible, there's still so much you can get done in a certain amount of time. Like, it gets to a point where a lot of these cleaning companies are unrealistic with, like, are you kidding me? Handy be talking about cleaning a whole apartment in like one person in 2 hours. They're delusional. They're literally delusional. Like, I hire one of them to see like how much would they get done. They get done nothing, okay? And they still charge you for the time.
Oh, I was just remembering a quote from Picasso that kind of sums up of like the where to cut corners or whatever when you really have to. But it says he says, learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. I always like that quote because
that's true.
When you know how to do things. You can do things good and great with less energy. That's what I mean. Like, you're going quick, but you know exactly what areas to hit. That is, the house is gonna stay clean. It's gonna be clean still.
How many times didn't we do thorough cleanings where we were pretty much out of time, or we have an extremely low, unrealistic budget, and the customer still wants everything to be clean, and we'd be like working really, really hard, running around, burning extra calories. We will end up extremely exhausted as if we just cleaned 10 houses.
Oh my god, the next day
we'd be running, freaking bending over, being on, like scrubbing extra hard, like doing all this up and down, and it's like, for what? For less pay, because the customer did not want to add more time to the service.
Yeah, and all we were trying to do was make them happy.
Yeah,
so they can call us back,
and they still don't call you back, and they still don't appreciate it. Like, most of the, like 99.9% of the times that we had a customer, actually, I don't think any customer that has always like underpaid us on the initial cleaning has called us back, to be honest. But yeah, 90% of the times that a customer ends up being cheap on the initial cleaning and ends up making us overwork us has ever called us back. They always just want to take advantage of us on the initial cleaning, and then they'll still go ahead
Yeah.
and call a cheaper company for return services.
Yeah.
Once we did all the hardest job
That's
at the beginning.
the hardest part is that
That
you
initial
know,
cleaning.
No, well, yeah, like, and also like people don't want to pay more. So then, if people don't want to pay more for cleaning, companies have to cut a lot of, I guess, loose ends, right? And I guess that's what probably happened with her company. They charge really cheap. I don't know how much they charge in Florida or other states, but I know, like, you know, minimum wage and stuff are a lot lower than in California. So if they're charging less, they have to charge less because the customers don't want to pay more. They have to cut back on a lot of supplies, a lot of things, you know, pay the workers obviously minimum, and then not give them enough supplies so that they can, you know, do the job well. So that's what happens. That's the shady part of the cleaning industry, that, you know, when it comes to trying to provide a service that is tough. It's tough to make it. That's why there's a highest turnover rate.
That's why, yeah, they're just trying to compete with other companies by giving the illusion that they're going to charge less. But that's why people, it drives me crazy, because I have to remind myself, like, Francesca, they're customers, they don't know how this works, they've been lied to, most likely, or they're under this illusion. But it drives me almost insane when customers ask me, so how do you charge? Do you charge by the hour? Do you charge by the square footage? Do you charge by... Ma'am, everyone, please understand, every single company is charging you by the hour. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter if they tell you they're charging you by the square footage. They are charging you by the hour, because the way they are thinking is, how much do I need to pay my cleaners? How long do my cleaners need to take in this job to make it profitable for me? So at the end of the day, they're not just going to say, oh, we're going to charge you, let's say, by the job or by the square footage, let's say, right? They say, oh, 2,000 square foot, I'm going to charge them this much. And then, like, somehow take longer than other houses who do. No. They're going to take, if they think a 2,000 square foot home, I want to charge it at, I don't know, let's say for a thorough cleaning, let's say they want to be cheap and they want to charge it for $300. It's not that they're going to charge you $300 and stay as long as they need to stay to make the house clean. No. They are telling you they're going to charge you $300, but they're telling their cleaners, you need to finish it in 4 hours, or you need to finish it in 2 hours. So what? They're charging you by the hour. Do you really think that if they didn't charge by the hour, they wouldn't tell their cleaners how long to take? They are charging you by the hour. That is the bottom line. If they're telling their cleaners, you need to finish this job in this hours, they're charging you by the hour. You know, I should tell that to people. Be like, ma'am, every company is charging you by the hours. If you don't believe me, hire a cheap company and then ask the cleaners, how long do you have to finish this job? If they give you a number, like an X amount of time, like, oh, we're supposed to finish in 2 hours, they're charging you by the hour, and divide that by the by the price that they're charging you.
Of course, they can't stay for the whole day. Obviously, they need to cut it at some point.
They have other appointments to make.
Whether they acknowledge it or not,
money. Yeah.
Whether they acknowledge it or not, is gonna be by a certain amount of hours.
And the fact that they don't want to tell you that they're charging you by the hour should offend you. Like, it should be offending. Like, why don't you tell me you're charging me by the hour? Like, why don't you just tell me how much is per hour, and how, because that way I can say, oh, you're planning on finishing my house in 2 hours? That seems irrational. That seems like you're not going to do a good job. They don't tell you that because they don't want you to know how long they're going to take. Because if they tell you, then you might not hire them. So anyways, going back to my point, pretty much, these companies make all these people think like, oh, we're going to charge you less. We're going to charge you less. They're not charging you less. They're just offering you less. That is the difference. And when they give this perception that they're charging you less, then what do? They do all these kinds of shenanigans, like being cheap on the cleaning products, cleaning with, overused mops or moldy vacuums, and cheap cleaning products, all kinds of stuff, putting this pressure on their cleaners, many times their cleaners put the cleaning products, the cleaners pay for the gas, the cleaners be responsible for finishing a job in a certain amount of time, even if they are the ones that estimate it, and even if the time was unrealistic. They are so unfair to these people, and it's not okay, because these are the people that are cleaning your home. So you really want to clean a person that is being underpaid, exploited, mistreated, stressed, all these things coming and taking care of your home? Is that what you really want? It blows my mind that people are just seem to be okay with this to me. Like nobody has really complained.
They don't. It's because they don't realize it. I don't think people truly realize it. They're just trying to save as much money when it comes to the service. I
don't know what makes me more mad, if customers like being okay with paying these people very little, knowing that it just sounds too good to be true, or the fact that these companies get so many cleaners that are actually good cleaners. Like I know a lot that many times they don't. Like I heard a lot of stories of a lot of these cleaners stealing from customers, doing all kinds of shadiness. A lot of them are very shady. They come from really bad, they have bad backgrounds, and they're only doing cleaning because they're not being hired anywhere else. But still, they still get good cleaners who are responsible, who do clean good, who do give them the good reviews from the customers, and it's just like, how are they finding these people? Because I have a really hard time. Thank God we've been really lucky in this past year, but for the longest time we got a really hard time finding people, huh, Martin?
Yes.
Really, really hard time. Okay, let's go on with the next story.
Yeah. Okay. Jill again. Okay. I'm going to tell you one more story for today. I was hired by a company that was a cleaning franchise. It was a husband and wife team, and the wife was very nice, and she told me she tried to hire nice workers. I showed up the first day to clean, and when I got to the parking lot, I saw two of the cleaners walking, and I asked them where it was okay to park, and they told me anywhere. Just not in these two specific spots because they were supervisors and designated those spots for themselves. Here we go. I walked into the conference room where everybody gathered and got the feeling that I was the new hen in the hen house. I was put with a younger woman who had a very hard personality, and she was going to be the one driving. And I couldn't help it. I felt apprehensive.
Who was going to be the one driving?
This person that she got paired with.
Oh, I thought I heard that she was there and there was a bunch of young girls who had hard personalities.
No, yeah, well, she got put, okay, so she says, I was put with a younger woman who had a very hard personality.
Okay.
And she was going to be the one driving, and I couldn't help it. I felt apprehensive. I thought to myself, I don't know this person, I don't feel comfortable with her, and I'm going to get in the back seat of a car and she's going to drive. It may have been because of the other people I cleaned with, because every time I got in a car, it turned into a nightmare.
Oh my God.
And I just thought to myself that I'm putting myself in the hands of somebody who made me uneasy. She forgot a disinfectant cleaner and had to go back into the office to get it. And when she did, I took the opportunity and got out of the car and went home. I told the other person in the front seat I was sorry and I left. I had never done anything like that before, but this person made me feel so uneasy that I felt compelled to get out of the car, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm glad she did it too.
Okay, so it continues here. Hold on.
But I wish she would have complained to the supervisor, be like, "Hey, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm leaving because I don't feel like this person's a good team player or something like that."
Yeah. So, I guess continuing the story. So she said,
Part 2.
Yeah. Sorry for all the emails. I did want to clarify something. When I was going to work for the cleaning franchise, and two of the supervisors who told me I couldn't park in their designated spot because it was designated for supervisors, this was not the property of the cleaning franchise. The cleaning franchise occupied a space in a business strip center. The parking lot was for all the different businesses, not just for the cleaning franchise. So the fact that they decided to designate a spot for themselves says a lot. I do not believe in trying to control others or micromanaging or a pecking order. I'm not competitive. I just want to get the job done without all of the petty ridiculousness that I seem to run into, and I have a hard time tolerating it because that is not my personality. Yep.
Wow.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't, and this goes back to her comment of saying like a lot of them have sociopathic behaviors. I don't understand how a lot of these business owners, I guess there's like a certain set of traits that people usually have when they want to be like entrepreneurs or they want to be like successful business owners. Many times it does coexist with being a bit of an asshole, I guess, in a nutshell. But yeah, like how much lack of self-awareness these companies lack, these managers, so-called business owners. It just kind of like, don't you want, like if you want if you want to have, nice people working for you, people who are going to appreciate you, take care of your business, the least you can do is be kind to them and train them properly and be aware of how you're being perceived by them. Like saying things like, oh, these 2 spaces, please don't park here, they're reserved for us. It's like, how is that going to make you look, especially if they figure that, those spaces in fact do not say reserved. So it's like are you going to come across an asshole? Like, is it worth the few steps that you're going to save to the office by just saying like, these are my spaces?
Yeah, I kind of just leave it to be like, yeah, she's probably, tried like a lot of different companies to kind of notice, to spot those red flags like right away. Like that's being very observant and and just knowing what's a good, when you start feeling like you start questioning like why do they do that? Like you just kind of can tell how people are, like, very easily.
And I feel so terrible that, I'm amazed, first of all, that she actually didn't lose hope and she continued to try different companies. I think I would have been more than disappointed if we had our own set of horrible experiences.
We've been through it all, man.
Which I'm not saying it's nothing. I don't want to say it's nothing compared to our experiences, because they're obviously bad experiences. They're just different because in this case, you're just an employee. You just want to go and be treated decently with dignity and be paid for your time. That's it. Pay for your time and hope that the most you'll invest on this day is your gas or your bus money to make it to the job, to make it to the first location. So that's what it should be, because you're not gaining anything, you shouldn't be losing anything. So I understand that it's like you're going here, you're sharing your services, your input, and in return you get this nasty experience. It's not fair, right? It shouldn't be fair. Nobody should be treated like that. In our case, it's a little different. We I guess because we were the business owners, we kind of like felt like, well, it's part of the business. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We do know that dealing with nasty customers is just something that am I making
like
sense?
it just comes with the.
It just like you kind of do expect to deal with nasty customers, and you know that it's like you don't have any supervisor. We don't have any supervisor above us that can kind of rescue us or take care of them. Like we are doing the dirty job of dealing with crazy customers, and yeah, sometimes not getting paid for our time or not getting paid for the full job. It comes with the troubles, but we have at least the hope that it's like, okay, it's a learning experience. We're gonna learn better, and we're gonna grow as a business. This is gonna help us grow. At the end of the day, we just kind of like we're able to internalize everything and be like, okay, what can we take out of this, right? But as an employee, like you shouldn't be able to internalize any of this. It's like, I don't need this, I'm out. Like I'm fucking getting another job, if anything. And this, which is kind of like a similar to what we did. Like when we had a bad experience with the customer, we're like, we don't want that customer ever again. Like we're just, one good thing that we can do is that we don't ever have to deal with that customer again. We can say no thank you and refuse service and never deal with them again. As an employee, I think it's a little different because it's like, oh wow, like in this case, she drove over there, she got ready, set time in her day to come to present herself for a job, and ended up not getting paid for that day because she just felt so uncomfortable. She had no choice but to leave, which it shouldn't be that way. No. She should have gotten paid for her day. She should have not felt uncomfortable, and she should have felt in a safe place where she could talk to the supervisor to be like, excuse me, like, what's up with your employee, right? And I like to always make sure when I have an employee that is a bit of a what's it called? Not troublemaker, but somebody who just doesn't really know how to get along, or like not a good team player. And like I spot them right away, and I talk to them and be like, look, like you can't just treat them like that. You have to da-da-da. And I also try to play a little bit of a devil's advocate and explain to the other person, like, look, this guy or this girl, she just, she doesn't mean wrong. She's just kind of a little bit like that sometimes. And da-da-da. So I try to kind of be that middleman so that people just kind of like understand and not feel the tension or ease things up, because sometimes it's just a matter of misunderstanding. But if I have somebody who's just mean for no reason, who has attitude, who belittles other people, like, I'm sorry, that person is gone. Like, I'm sorry, you can't be treating your team players like that. You have to be respectful. You have to be, if they're treating other cleaners like that, how are they going to treat my customers? Like, so I don't understand how these companies are just not being like aware of these things and not taking care of. These are like primal issues. These are important issues to take care of in a cleaning business.
That blows my mind also how the companies, can get away with treating their employees like that and not taking into consideration, like, I'm sure they've done the cleaning before and they know what goes into, how much effort and energy goes into like doing the cleaning, that they just kind of seem to forget that, like, maybe they learn how to do it so easily that they think that they can just explain it to somebody real quick and that they're gonna learn how to do it. But you do need like to take take the time and explain with care and be patient with them, and so those employees can have a good experience and want to work with you longer. So like like how you always say, like, we're the product. The cleaners are the product. We're doing a service here, but there is always, like, the product is the cleaners, right? So
the labor, the quality of the service, and the quality of the service comes out of how well trained or how prepared and how happy the cleaners are.
Yeah.
We also always say happy cleaners means happy workers and happy customers.
Yep.
So it's also a little chain.
So yeah, Jill, sorry that you had to go through all these experiences, and we're gonna try to make more of these videos
To spread awareness.
and have people realize that disintegrate this whole idea of a maid or somebody that's just a cleaner, right? Like, we need to break those definitions down and rebuild them. So that's what we're gonna try to do. If anybody has more stories that they want to share with us, we'll greatly appreciate it. You can email it at ecpbusiness@gmail.com. We'll put in the links.
Yes, we really appreciate you, Jill, for sharing this with us and with hopefully our growing community. And I really hope that more people feel compelled to share also their stories, no matter how traumatic they are. I feel like this is good therapy to take it out and find others within the community that completely understand how frustrating it can be and how we also been in your shoes. And also, I hope that more people see this so they are more aware
of how they're treating people.
How they're treating people, yes. How they're treating just anybody in the service industry, whether it's a server or any employees you may have. We are people. We are human beings. We're people with babies and children, and we want to come home feeling happy that we have a nice job where we're getting treated like people, and we can come and relax and be happy with our family instead of coming home all frustrated in a bad mood, and maybe take it out on our children or take it out on our husbands or wives. So everything has a ripple effect.
Yep.
So it's important to treat people like people. Know that these people are trying to make your business flourish, and I understand that sometimes the other way around. Sometimes the bosses are really good, kind people, and the workers are jerks and they're unappreciative, and that happens. But in that case, then the manager can always we should fire those people. You shouldn't be having bad apples, making the other bad apples uncomfortable. But at least they have a manager. Well, sometimes a business owner, you do feel like, oh my God, like this is the only employee I have, or I don't have other employees. So it's a balance. If you are working for somebody who's kind to you, who treats you right, you should
put all the effort.
Yeah, treat them accordingly. Feel lucky that you have a good boss and that you have a good thing going on for you. And treat your boss like he's treating you. And the same goes around. If you have a good employee that it's treating your business right, treat him right. And he will treat your business even better. You will reap what you sow. Hopefully people do some self-reflection to be like, yeah, maybe I need to be a little kinder to people, or have a little more patience, or explain things better. And it will go a long way. A long way will ripple into so many. It's amazing how one negative action can affect so many people's lives, the same as one positive action. 100%.
So, well said, Francesca.
I hope you guys enjoy this first Kickstart episode, and don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe. It really helps the algorithm share these stories, and also helps us support a small business. And hopefully the next video will be, we got a lot of really good stories that I want to share with you guys.
You're not going to want to miss those.
So many. I don't even know where to start, because I'm not going to lie, they're a little traumatizing. Like, sometimes just like the thought about it like makes me want to cry. But at the same time, I think like, wow, like I endured that. It helped me. It made me grow. It made me a stronger person. And yeah, I can't wait to share that with you guys, and hope that you guys can relate and feel understood.
Thanks for listening, watching. Thanks, Jill, for the stories. And
yeah, and we'll read you in the comments if you want to share anything.
Hours.
Yeah, stay tuned for hours, and we will read you on the comments if you guys want to share anything. No more ado.
Peace.
This person, Papa.
Reñudo.
It's okay. Trying to mingle with the baby here.